All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Hank Russell invitation. And sitting on the throne alone, I am your host, Hank Russell. Tonight, man, we're racking them up, baby. We got a lot of these Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighters coming in, and the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purely is growing so much now. And it's a pleasure to introduce this gentleman to you. My guest at this time is Mr. Danny Feldkamp. What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Good. So, tell me about the fight that you got coming up.
So that's the funny story. We actually at our gym, we just started a new gym in Cincinnati, and I've competed in Kumite before. It's really hard for me to compete in the summer just because I'm so busy. I travel a lot. I like to drink, especially when football comes around. Oh. And one of the guys at our gym was supposed to compete, and he ended up breaking his hand. I can't remember if it was wrist or whole hand, whatever. And I got a call a week ago to see if I could take the fight. I was actually in Virginia on a fishing trip, and I was drinking, and I was like, didn't even give it a thought. I'm like, I'm in. And then when I came back, I was like, wait, this is for real. Now I got to start up cardio. But I've always trained. My background's in wrestling. I started jiu-jitsu when I was 3 or 4 years old. So, got the technique, just need to up the cardio.
So you're fighting in the Kumite as well?
Yes.
I've interviewed a ton of you guys that are fighting in that Kumite. I believe Zach is in charge of it.
Yeah. I've known Zach for a really long time.
I have yet to meet him. We've talked online for a minute, through Messenger and stuff like that. But he owes me an interview after all this, because I've interviewed at least 12 of his competitors in the last 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
For all I know, your opponent, it could be somebody I've interviewed. Who is your opponent, by the way?
His name is, I used to train with him. It's, let me pull it up. His name is
the guy I used to train with. That's his name.
Yeah. The guy I used to train with. I have the picture right here.
That's cool.
It's Mike McCabe.
No, I haven't interviewed him. But that's so what do you know about him?
Not a lot. We've trained a couple different times, about 8-9 months ago. I think he's got about 2 to 3 years of experience. It's not like I rolled with him every day and I know everything about him, but, I feel like I've got an upper hand in strength. I also wrestled for 18 years. So I feel like my base in wrestling's probably got an edge, but I don't really know what he's gotten better at over the last year, so I don't want to speak out of term, but I feel pretty comfortable going into it. Now, I'm sure he could say the same.
Well, how long have you been competing in jiu-jitsu?
So, training since I've been 4. So in the off season of wrestling, I would do jiu-jitsu in the summer, and I always did no-gi, which is the funny thing. So I would do no-gi in the summers with my dad, and actually, it's funny, Zach, the guy you're supposed to interview, the guy that runs Kumite, when Zach was a blue belt was when I started training with him, and now he's a black belt, if that gives any idea of how long that's been. On top of that, so wrestling all year long, and then summer jiu-jitsu. Over the last 3 years, Zach actually has hit me up and said, hey, you should come to our gym. You'd love it. You used to wrestle. We used to do jiu-jitsu together. And I was like, sure, I'll come, try something. Not something new, but try and take it more seriously. So I did strictly no-gi for a while. I always hated training in a gi. It just like all the grips and everything, it's just hard to break. There's a lot more to grab. The more I get better at jiu-jitsu, the more I actually like the gi. The more chokes I learn, the more grips I learn, the more throws I learn. I like it a lot more. But yeah, officially in a gi for the last 2.5 years, but no gi all my life.
I have trained with Hanato Gracie before, and he showed me gi training. So I have trained no gi many times, but I haven't. That was the first and only time I've done gi. So I have never done gi wrestling.
Really?
Jiu-jitsu.
Really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny you bring up the Gracie. So Hoist Gracie actually taught my dad and Zach, who now both of them. Well, my dad can't train anymore, but Zach now trains me. So Hoist brought it to bring it to like L.A. and Florida, and then they came up to Cincinnati.
I wonder if I would know your dad or not.
You might. It's same first name, same last name.
Danny Feldkamp?
Yeah, it should be Dan. Yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, I've been covering I've been covering sports, particularly, my favorite is combat sports for nearly 20 years. I've been watching UFC for 26 years.
Wow.
And because how old are you?
28.
Okay, so you were probably you were maybe 2 years old when I started watching this sport.
Yeah.
But I've been covering this a long time, and the thing about it is that when Millions gave me this opportunity, I told myself, man, I wish if I was big enough, I would make fighters. That's one of the things I was talking to you about off camera. That's my goal, is to be able to like be big enough to where I can help make fighters, or at least help put them out there.
Yeah, no, that'd be really cool.
So you were telling me off camera that you sell stocks and trade, or you give tips on stocks and trades?
Yeah, I've got a pretty big Twitter account. It's got like 70,000 followers now. Just post like more macro analysis now instead of like all the day-to-day stuff.
Sure.
Real basic stuff, just market takes. I've actually been featured in Forbes and Cointelegraph twice. So definitely have the repertoire to show for that. I've been doing it for like 12 years. So finally took it to Twitter, and I just did it for fun as a hobby, and it just ended up getting a lot of traction.
Do you have a lot of success with the stock trades?
Yeah, that's pretty much my full-time job. So
yeah, I never really, my guys in my generation, we really didn't develop that sort of skills and stuff like that. So I always wanted to be in broadcasting and stuff like that. And that was just never a skill that I thought was possible, especially with this was pre, cell phones and internet and stuff like that. You had to look at the trades, if I'm not mistaken, through the papers and
through papers. Yeah.
Now
I can literally pick up my phone and open a chart and
if
tell you everything about it.
I know it, man. Like, I'm just a poor ghetto boy from Memphis. So it is what it is.
Yeah. I get that.
So no, man. So tell me more about, are you a black belt? Are you a blue belt?
So I'm a blue belt officially. I got my blue belt last year. I probably walked into, like, when I started training with Zach, and over the next couple of weeks, like I said, I've got a big wrestling background. I've done jiu-jitsu, not straight. I want to say I've done jiu-jitsu straight for 20 years, but I came into taking it more seriously with a lot more, skill and background than a lot of people do. So I actually got my blue belt a year after I started training more seriously. And now, I train like 4 to 5 days a week.
Right.
For me, it's exercise. I'll compete. I've been asked, but one of the guys I train with, they asked if I would do worlds, either Chicago, Vegas, whatever. I'm giving it some thought. Originally, I was like, nah, I'm good, because I wrestled for so long. I've competed in states. I've done nationals. I've done all the city tournaments. I've done Kumite, and Kumite is a pretty cool event too. So that's always fun local. I don't got to travel all the way across, the country, not be paid for it, pay for a hotel and do all that. But competing's fun. I'm still giving that some thought if I really want to take it more seriously and see what I can do. I think I have the skill set to do it. It's just, do I want to apply it and really take it seriously?
Yeah, I get it. When you're, I don't know how passionate you are about what you do for a living, but, that can often lose, disdain your, or kind of like, or, restrain your drive, so to speak, in what it is that you're trying to do as a hobby that may turn into something else.
Yeah, for me, it's just I do a lot of stuff on the weekend, like I said, basically from now until February, I'm watching football, or I'm at someone's house watching football, or, if there's a UFC event on or whatever, we're watching all that.
I'm assuming you're a Bengals fan?
Hell yeah, dude. Finally, it's been 30 years since we've won a playoff, but yeah, I've always been a Bengals fan, but nice to see we're doing well.
Yeah, no, I'm a Raiders fan, but as somebody who's covered sports and stuff like that for years, I have my dog in the fight, but it's not like I don't like to pet the other dogs in the kennel, so to speak. I watch.
I get it.
It's not that big of, like, I'm not that invested in a team. Like, you're from Cincinnati, so I'm assuming. Yeah. You're from Cincinnati, so you have emotional investment in it. I love the Raiders. Don't get me wrong, but I haven't been to Vegas since I was 8 years old. And I haven't been. I've never been to the state of California. So how that would be like? Okay, now I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, so I I bleed Bill Street blue because I'm a huge Grizzlies fan, basketball.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, is it that big of a deal? Like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I'm more invested now that the Bengals are good. Like, I want to see them go to the playoffs. I'm watching them every Sunday.
yeah.
I'd say up until like 3 years ago, I could care. I never even watched the games. No, I'm still a Bengals fan, but if they lost, that's what I expected. But I am a huge Ohio State fan. So if Ohio State's losing, that's definitely a kick to the gut. I don't lose my mind over it, but it's definitely a kick to the gut if they lose.
Well, thank you for giving the Grizzlies Mike Conley all these years,
Yeah, right.
No, man. Oh, huge. Like I said, I mean, I'm a sports fan in general. Like, I love combat sports, though. It's just something for me. Like, the UFC was like my baby. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on, University of Memphis basketball. So when the Grizzlies weren't around at the time, and I was a big St. Louis Cardinals baseball fan. Those are my two first loves. Okay, seen them both live and all that good jazz. That being said, in 1999, 98, whenever I saw Frank Shamrock fight Tito Ortiz, that was when I said, okay, this is my sport. Okay.
Yeah.
And then in 2005, when it erupted, I was like, when I saw soccer moms watching it and hot chicks and stuff like that watching it, I'm like, okay, this is still my sport, but pretty soon it'll be everybody's sport.
Yeah, it'll be everybody's. Yeah. Do you remember the Chuck Liddell era?
Of course.
Yeah, we have. I have a funny story about Chuck. So my dad brought. Do you know the big logo on the mat says Zions or Zenergy?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't. But for anyone watching, so my dad actually brought them into Kroger and was kind of like consulting their business in Kroger. So my dad got flown out to Vegas for a lot of the UFC events. Yeah. And there was a couple different times that he had an opportunity to party with Chuck Liddell. Fortunately, he didn't.
UFC yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say UFC 107 in 2009. I got to party with him.
Oh, I can imagine. I've heard it was him and Josh Koscheck, and he tells a story, and I'm cracking. I'm like, dude, you should have just done it. Like, whatever. He saw Bruce Buffer back in the day call a midget fight. They were at the hotel, and after the UFC, it was like 4 a.m, and they dropped a small octagon down, and Bruce Buffer called a midget fight. So that was pretty nuts.
Yeah, no, I met Mike Goldberg, and I wonder if he commentated that or not.
He might have. I don't know.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember him or not.
No, I do. I do remember Mike.
I was just curious because I saw, like I said, I met a lot of those guys. I mean, you can look on my Facebook page, and I've got pictures with these guys, and now those pictures are 16 years old. But it's insane how time flies. I mean, I had George Cashel on there, Mario Yamasaki, CB Dalloway, Thiago Alves, Josh the People's Warrior Berkman.
Yeah.
A bunch of these legendary fighters and stuff like that. And it was just such a great night.
Yeah, like George Gurgel and Rich Franklin. My dad used to train with them at George's old school. So very familiar with both of them. I
just talked to a guy the other day that used to train with them as well.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, there's in Cincinnati. Dick George is a gym right up in, it used to be in Dayton or near Dayton. And that's kind of where the big gym was here. Now there's a couple different gyms. Okay. There's one in Walnut Hills, and there's one in the neighborhood that I'm kind of near that Zach runs. So it's slowly, there's more gyms getting out and available, but originally it was George's gym, or there might have been another gym, but I don't think there was.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of gyms here. The problem is that we're not getting enough high level competition, so to speak. Like the biggest one we have that's a fight promotion is across the river in West Memphis, Arkansas, which is only a 25-minute drive from where I'm at. But at the same time, like, the state of Tennessee, it's all about Nashville or East Tennessee now. So,
yeah, that's really like anything though. Like Ohio wrestling is better than Oklahoma wrestling, right? Because you have, I don't know anymore, but at least when I wrestled, when you went to a national tournament, I could be the state runner-up in Ohio and go against the state champ in Idaho, and I'll just whoop him just because the competition I'm fighting here is way stronger than the competition over there. It's like that with like baseball and football. Like baseball in the Midwest is crazy. And then you go play like a school like Alabama or like a high school from Alabama, and it's just way different. Like an Ohio high school will probably beat the the blazes off of school in Alabama.
Yeah, and the Carolinas are really good baseball as well.
Yeah, they are. I think South Carolina has been number 1 or number 2 for the last 10 years.
I just got back from Greenville at the beginning of May. I went to go visit some friends. I was doing two podcasts for a while. I quit one about 6 weeks ago, but I went to do with these guys live, and I saw the single A stadium for the Boston Red Sox, and it's the most beautiful stadium I've ever seen for a single A team. It looks like it is a replica of Fenway Park, and I've been to Fenway Park before. So, but that and Shoeless Joe Jackson's house and all that stuff. So it's a big sport, very baseball type state.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. So did you grow up watching UFC?
Yeah, I did. As young as I can remember. Like I said, I started doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was like 4 or 5, 3, 4 or 5. I can't remember when exactly. But yeah, once the UFC started becoming bigger, at least, not necessarily bigger, because really it's like you said, exploded in like the late 2000 or like late 2010 or what is that? 2000? Yeah, late 2000.
It was the 05.
Yeah, 05 was what Griffin and who was it? Forrest Griffin and
Stephen Bonner.
So I've watched, like, I don't know. I guess my favorite era was the Chuck Liddell era. I'd stay up all night. I think I was like 6, 7, 8 years old, maybe a little bit older.
Sure.
Stay up all night, or at least try to, and watch those fights. Those were awesome.
Right. Well, being from Memphis, I was friends with Rampage Jackson's brother. So
really,
I was. I haven't seen him in a long time, but now he's a lot older than I am. Let's see, he would be 11 years older than I am. So I haven't seen him in a long time, and I trained, but anyway, and so I knew these guys, and I was pulling for Jackson, which I shouldn't have been. I should have been pulling for Chuck, because I always liked Chuck better, but I pulled for Jackson just because I was friends with his brother. And I was also trained underneath the future Nevada director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission, the executive director, Jeff Mullen. You might hear that name. I was trained under him. See.
Wow.
So, I mean, I couldn't really just go in there and say I really like Chuck, but I really did, because Rampage was he was okay. I can't stand like guys with smart ass mouths all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it is part of the fight game, right? You look at someone like Conor McGregor, and he's a showman, and he's a great fighter, but also a showman. You got to bring the crowd. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you first.
I was going to ask who's your favorite fighter up to this point.
Up to this point, I mean, if you had to go, I guess Couture was the guy that I loved the most, because the old man. But then you had kind of this era. Like, I used to love Carl Parisian. Do you remember him?
I don't.
You would know. Like, look up Carl Parisian versus Josh, the People's Warrior Berkman, the guy I was telling you about earlier. Watch his. All you got to do is just look up Carl Parisian throws. And as a matter of fact, I can send you his name if we forget. We're friends. I think. Are we friends on Instagram now?
If you sent me a request, I haven't checked Instagram all day, but if you sent me something, I'll make sure to get it.
Well, for people to hear out there anyway, since we're live, what is your Instagram handle?
My Instagram is dfeldy_14.
Let's see. Feldy, give me a sec here.
Oh yeah, I think I do actually have you. Yeah, I got you. I follow.
Okay, yeah, we're chill. So yeah, Feldy. Okay, so anyway, so I'll send you his name. But Carl Parisian, look up him. He was one of my favorites, because he had these high altitude judo throws. My favorite one was without a doubt is when he threw Josh, the People's Warrior Berkman, over his back at a high altitude. I mean, the guy had to have been at least 3 feet off the ground.
Wow.
So I couldn't believe it. I'll try to remember to send that. But he was one of my favorites, and then. Now I'd have to say Derek Lewis is my favorite.
Derek Lewis, he's a funny guy.
Yeah,
I like Derek.
I do too. He said he'd be fighting. He said he's not fighting no tomato cans.
No, I liked what he won his last fight, and he's like, they were like, "What's your next opponent?" And he's like, "My wife."
There's gonna be some real
my
ground
wife
and
all
pound.
day. Yeah, good ground and pound.
That's your fine ass.
Yeah, that dude is. Man, he's funny.
I know.
But I think my favorite fighter of all time is Nate Diaz. Just something about just the gang. Like, yeah, he's like, he's the gangster guy, but he's just tough as shit.
Right.
He's got high cardio. He's a, amazing grappler, amazing striker.
Yeah.
And just fully entertaining to watch. And, he's the guy that's got a bloody, beat up face and he's flipping the other dude off. And I always thought that was like, that's a warrior, man. That's awesome to see.
Nothing against Nate, but I was always a big fan of his brother, Nick.
I do like Nick as well. One of the things I've always wanted, and sorry to interrupt, there's a picture, there's like a downward picture of Nick Diaz laying on the mat against Anderson Silva, taunting him.
Mm-hmm.
And I want that signed by Nick. If anyone knows how to get that, let me know, because it is the one thing. That's the only thing I want. Dude, it's so cool.
I know. I wish I could meet the guy. I really do. He was actually one. Like, I have so many favorites, but he was one of my favorites too, because he was just like his brother, younger brother Nate. And what made him so good too was that he didn't have to. People always wondered why he threw without putting body into it. He was punching the guys so that they would lose their breath, and then all of a sudden, he would finish guys. I mean, it was just an insane way he did it. Very risky. I mean, when you got an open shot, you're supposed to hit somebody, but he had an open shot and slapped the shit out of Robbie Love.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
So that's a very ballsy fighter, probably one of the ballsiest.
Yeah.
But no, man. So, yeah, but he was, but I loved him. Gosh, I mean, Chuck Liddell was up there, obviously. Like I said, my first fight I ever saw was Frank Shamrock versus Tito Ortiz. That was the first fight I ever saw. And that was in 1998, 99, somewhere around there. So a long time ago, but good fight. I couldn't believe how great of a fight that was too. I mean, Frank won the fight. That was when Tito Ortiz changed his cardio. So, so going back to the Kumite, do you know where you're at on the card? Or I guess since your last minute, you probably won't be too high up the card, will you?
I'm not really sure. I asked Zach yesterday. He said, I'll get you a list. He's busy setting it up. He runs a gym, so I'll get it when I get it, but I'd imagine I'm probably smack in the middle. It's a blue belt match. I would imagine that they put the kind of, well, you have to be a blue belt to do Kumite, but I'd imagine they put the blue belts first and then purple, then brown, then black, right? You put your highest competition towards like the last, because I know there's a world champion fighting. I can't remember his name, but the main event's a world champ.
Yeah, there is a legendary. There's a legendary champ that's supposed to be on there, and then from what I hear, but I'm not sure who it is.
I was told literally an hour ago, and I forgot his name.
It's cool, man. So, what weight class are you fighting at?
So I have to weigh 182, which is actually heavier for me. Ends up working out. I don't have to cut weight or anything. I can keep doing what I'm doing. After this, I'm going to go eat a giant meal because I've trained 3 times today. So, but yeah, don't have to cut weight. So that's fortunate. I feel like I should come in stronger too, just because I don't have to cut. I can, retain water. I can, because I've been taking creatine for the last couple months, so I can keep that cycle going. So I feel pretty good.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Shoot, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah, it's good when you don't have to cut weight and you're confident enough to do what you have to do. So,
yeah.
Other than that, man. Well, hey, man. Before I let you go, if you ever want to do this again, let me know. Zach. I'm sure. Did Zach send you my way or?
Yeah, Zach sent me something on Instagram. I think on Thursday or Friday of last week.
Yeah.
So I saw it, but yeah, no, this is awesome.
I'm not saying I'm playing favorites, but I'm kind of curious. I'm interviewing one of your ring girls.
You're interviewing one of the ring girls?
I am. I've never interviewed a ring girl ever. Maybe this will lead to me like, she seems, I haven't met her yet, but I've seen pictures. She could be a ring girl.
I have no idea what she looks like, but I'm happy for you. I hope you got some good questions for her.
You know what? I don't have any good questions for her. I'm going to freeze up because I've never interviewed a ring girl. So I'll have to figure this out. I
feel like you just kind of got to go slow and then deep dive into it. Like, why do you want to be a ring? Like, why did you choose to be a ring girl? How do you know the people running the event? Because it's a local event. It's most of the local gyms, right? So, and then ask the questions.
Sure, I'll be fine. It's just that it's like being a I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I wish I had a better analogy, but you get what I'm saying. I usually interview competitors and sometimes promoters, but I have never interviewed a ring girl. So, but maybe I can interview Virginia Sandhouse one day.
Yeah, right. That'd be the dream.
Oh yeah. Next thing you know, I'll be dating her.
Oh man,
dream on, Hank.
That would be the life. Let me tell you, dude. Holy.
Yeah, I think I just woke up from my nap.
You're like slapping yourself. Is this real?
That's right. Virginia. I want to be North Carolina so I can be underneath you.
Yeah, right.
I'll be West Virginia so I can be on top of you. But anyway, so before I let you go, so in detail, I want you to tell me where the fight is, when the fight is, and where guys like me at home can watch it.
So the fight is at Madison Theater in Covington, Kentucky. It's this Saturday. So all of the card starts at 5 p.m. You can get tickets at kumitebjj.com if you're local. There is a live stream. Unfortunately, I don't have the link for that, but I'd imagine it's on the Kumite BJJ site if you want to see it. It's pretty cool. They've got announcers for the live stream. They'll have live music. It's a pretty cool event. And I believe the submission of the night wins a cannon, like a fully functioning cannon.
I love it, man. Danny, I appreciate you coming on, man, and keep me in touch.
Yeah, anytime, man. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll have some short videos on for you to collab with as well. So we'll get
cool, man. Yeah, take it easy.
All right, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to hang out here with me and Danny tonight, and we sure do appreciate you for doing that, and we love you for it. This has been the Hank Russell Invitation, and I just want to say that this Kumite thing is going to be something else, so don't miss it, and y'all have a pleasant evening.